Hi, this is Debbie with another video tutorial, and it's sort of brief. First of all, I want to let everyone know that I'm using the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition, and it's the 2.7.18. And if you want to know which version you're using, all you have to do is click your Help, About Silhouette Studio Designer Edition, and then right here it will tell you that I'm using the 2.7.18D is for Designer. Okay, one of the questions that I was asked today, and she asked me if I would make a video, is how do I import files into her library? Now, before I show you how to do this, I want to state that I don't do this. I'm afraid that it will slow the opening of the software, so I keep my files in a separate folder on my desktop, which you'll want to back up occasionally to make sure that you don't lose any of those great cutting files. But I'm going to go to File and Import to my library, and say right now on my desktop there's a file, but I'm going to go to my libraries, and I'm going to go to my computer. Well, where can I find my... Okay, we're just going to cancel out of this because I'm going to do it my way. Okay. I'm going to go File, Import to my library. I'm just going to use the Jumping Girl 2 file that I shared on my blog today. So I'm going to go like this, double click it. Jumping Girl pops up, Jumping Girl 2. I'm going to put keywords. I'm going to put kinetic card. Girl that jumps up when levers moved. You want to put a little description. Is moved. And then I'm the artist, because I'll just put DH there. In category, I can still put it under print and cut because it does have to be print and cut, so I'm going to choose the categories, print and cut, and I'm going to go OK. And now when I go over to my library, I'll go to my own designs, and as you can see, there's my Jumping Girl 2 in my own designs, and I'll double click on this, and there's the file that I just loaded. Now I did notice that when I imported this, because like I said, I usually don't do this, it's kind of grouped all of my files together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup them, because this is going to be my print and cut version. So I'll have to go and change some settings that I noticed. To go to Basic Options, I had this set up to be on letter, and I had it landscape, and I had my registration marks showing, and I had registration marks at 10.5. So I'm just going to highlight that and type 10.5 and hit my enter key. So it makes me smaller registration marks, and place this right back in there. Before I go to cut, I want to make sure I have all of these set, because even though it imported into my library, it didn't import it the way I had it originally set up. So now I've made all those changes, and now I can do my print and cut with this image here. Now I want to show you what I do. Okay, if I go to File, Open, see Desktop, and I click on my System folder Debbie. Here I have my Silhouette cutting files. This is where I store all the files that I make or have downloaded, because I don't want it to bog down my computer. And inside this file are subfiles. I start out with 3D file and templates, alphas, animals, baby, backgrounds, birds, so on. And also any files that I've changed, that I've purchased, I keep a file in there of those as well. But as you can see, all of them are subcategories. So if I click open my 3D file template, I have 3D files, gazebo tea light, instructions. I put subfolders. Now some of them, now here if I go to all files, it will show me images of each files. We'll check this out. Okay, all files. So now I know I designed this watermelon basket. So I have a picture here. I always include a picture to go with my cutting file. So we're just going to go back to 3D templates. And as you can see, I have pictures to go with all of my cutting files. So when I go to open them, I know what I'm opening. And I know a lot of you like to import your files, but really, I would go ahead and just make a separate folder, make category files, and then inside those files you can make subcategories. So this is how I do it. This is how this is done. Now another question, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. No. Okay. Another question I was asked by a member is that she wanted to make a chalkboard in a shape. So I emailed her a chalkboard background, which I'll open. Let me see. I go to all files. I'll go to chalkboard. There we go. I'm going to open that. It's going to be huge because I saved it in really high resolution, so it's huge, but that's okay. Now I'm going to go and open a shape. So File, Open. And I'm going to go to my Silhouette Cutting Files, the file I made. I'm going to go down here to Shapes. I'm just going to type in Top Note because that's the shape I want. Okay, so she wanted a shape similar to this, cut out. So I'm going to copy this, right click, copy it. I'm going to go over here to my chalkboard. I'm going to paste this, paste, or Control V. And she kind of wanted this on the side, so I'm just going to go ahead and rotate it. Should rotate it 45. And she wanted a little bit different shape. I grabbed the wrong one. That's okay. I grabbed my shape. She wanted it like wider. And if I want it bigger but to stay uniform like that, I just do this, drag it by that little corner. Okay, now with this selected, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and select this pale green chalkboard background. Shift. Then I'm going to go up to my Modify tool. And then doing that, all I want to do is select Crop. There we go. It leaves me the shape that she wanted. Okay, and then next, I'm going to go to my cut settings to make sure that this is set to cut. So I'm just going to select Cut Edge, go back to a regular view, so I know this is going to cut. Okay, now, she also, which I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. Okay, I'm going to copy this again. I actually should have made a copy of this after I got it all straightened out, but I forgot. Okay, paste. I'm going to make this shape again. And actually sometimes when you don't want to use an offset tool because it changes your shape a little bit, it's better to make your shapes this way, because she wanted something to look like a stitching going around this chalkboard. So this is the best way to do it. Okay, all I did was get the shape to fit inside this shape. With this selected, I selected a line color of white because she wanted white stitching. Now I'm going to go to my line style window and I'm going to increase the points on it. Let's say about 1.25 is fine. And then I select this. If I want them to look a little heavier, but we're going to blow this up so we can get close up to see what these lines look like. And that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go back to Fit to Window. And now I'm going to go to my Cut Style window again because I don't want this area that I have selected to be cut. Right here, I don't want it cut. So I want to select No Cut because she just wants to print this on here. Go back to Window. I'm going to scoot this over so I line it up. And then once I get it lined up, or you get yours lined up however you want it, then you can set it up to do your print and cut. But this does show you how to do something like a chalkboard or any other background for that matter. You can pick any background you want, and if you do that, select, bring in your shape, and do the modify and the crop, it'll leave you the shape. Since this was a JPEG image and she wanted it in this particular top note shape, that's how it's done. Okay, well, I hope these couple of little things that I showed you today will help. And remember, if you email me, I always try very hard to get to tutorials made to show you all how to do different things. I know some of you are beginners and haven't done any of this, and some of you are a lot more advanced, and you might not find these videos very useful, but I try to cover everyone when I do these. So I hope these has helped advanced and new users. Have a great day. Bye now.